want to talk about the Marvel Cinematic. I'm gonna be honest. I think Marvel has absolutely no idea what they're doing anymore after Endgame. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with Avengers. Like Avengers, I thought was the coolest thing ever. I thought the Iron Man movies were cool. I thought the Thor. I thought a long, long time ago, like 23 years ago, there was a boy that was born. His name was K.M.B. Later on, he became Real Talk with K.M.B. What is up? Today, we are going to talk about movie franchises, and as I try to make this the most faith based as possible as I can, I am going to talk about how, as a Christian, if you should watch the movie franchises, but I'm also mainly going to talk about the movie franchises. If they're really good, if they should just end it, if they should have just stuck with one. Today, I'm gonna talk about probably like 10 movie franchises. So let's get straight into it. First one we have is gonna be. Let's go. Let's go the Fast and Furious franchise. Because I feel like that franchise gets so much hate, bro. I don't honestly know why, because to me the newer ones are actually pretty good. Um I'll admit the first ever Fast and Furious movie I ever watched was Fast and Furious 6. So I was, a little behind on the franchise, but as I got into it, I started watching the first, second, third, so forth, so on. As I talked about it in one of my podcasts before, that the third one I used to hate on, and I rewatched it recently, and I actually like the third one. If a lot of people don't realize this, that actually let me talk about the franchise real fast. In the first one was originally about street racing. Yes, I'll agree with that. Have they went a little too far with the whole being spies thing? You wouldn't say so, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. It just turned into an action franchise. Let's be honest here. I do like it too that they kind of stick with the same characters. They bring old characters back and this and that. I think everyone is rising from the dead, but whatever. I'll start with the sixth one too. Bring back Vince, man. I don't know, but so like I said, in the first one, it started off with street racing and stuff like that, and that's what they stuck with in the first one. But in the second one, if you think about it, in the second one, there wasn't even that much street racing in that one. Yes, there was, but at the same time, if you think about it, Paul Walker's character, I forgot his last name, but Brian literally was like working with the FBI and stuff like that, and he had to go on like basically a mission, and then he picked up his old childhood best friend, Roman. So in a way, like the second one started the whole like spy thing, if you think about it. A lot of people don't realize that. The third one, mainly about street racing. A lot of people don't know this, that actually the third one was actually uh supposed to be kind of like Fast and Furious was trying to like add different characters of each movie. It wasn't trying to stick with the whole Vin Diesel thing. And I forgot how Vin Diesel got stuck with it. I think he like bought it out or something like that, or they really missed him and the critics missed him. I don't know, but basically what I'm getting at is then they just stuck with the whole Vin Diesel thing. The fourth one is the worst one. I thought that one was kind of boring. Fifth one, six, seven, like honestly, those were my golden years of the Fast and Furious franchise. The eighth one, I felt like the plot was good, like a good idea with Vin Diesel betraying his team or whatever. But I don't know. I just felt like they kind of, I don't know what they slacked on, but they slacked on something. Action was pretty good. I'm a huge action fan, so that if something has good action in it, I'm down with it. Ninth one, I don't. It gets so hated on. I honestly don't know why. And it's like it was, and I get it. Like Vin Diesel's character having a brother, um, or Dom Toretto having a brother that no one ever knew about. Yeah, I mean, if they are so close as a family, like, yeah, it gets you thrown off. But you gotta think they gotta come up with new ideas in the franchise and stuff like that. And they also haven't talked to their brother in years. And I thought it was pretty cool that they did the whole like back when they were teenagers kind of scenes. Though I thought that was cool. I like the backstory. I like them showing it. Because to me, like I said, as a Christian too, testimonies are one of my favorites. So I like to hear about people's past. So it is kind of cool that they did that. That they talked about a lot about their past in that movie. And in a way, they kind of brought back street racing in that movie. Um, and again, actually, now just saying this, mentioning it, a lot of the Fast and Furious movies, you got to think that they still do have street racing in some of the scenes. So it's not mainly based on street racing, but they do stick with their grounds. And the 10th one was actually pretty good. I thought that was one of the best villains. Not the best, but one of the best. I forgot his name, Jason Momoa, I think. But he did a pretty good job. And the Hobbs and Shaw thing, it was pretty good. I don't know, that movie dropped like 6 years ago, so I don't think they're gonna do anything with that, or if any other characters are gonna get any spin-offs. But yeah, I think they should make a whole like origin movie scene where like they show them as like teenagers, the street racing. I think that would be pretty cool, like Dom and his sister Mia and Lenny, I think her name is Letty. But um showing them as like, teenagers or whatever. Like I said, I think that'd be a cool idea. Vin Diesel, if you're watching this, take notes. Well, like I said, do I think the franchise is a Christian based franchise? I mean, Vin Diesel does wear a cross on his neck, man. He always has that chain with him. I think it is kind of cool though. In the end of the movie, they do say grace in it. Do I think that they preach Jesus in the movie? No, not really. But at the same time, though, at least in the end of the day, in the movie, that they do say grace and they think about family a lot and they think of each other a lot. So I wouldn't say it's very a sinful movie. I wouldn't say it's very demonic. Um, and again, if you really like action, honestly, I would go towards that movie. It's to me, it's a good franchise. I honestly, me personally, I don't think it should end. A lot of people are gonna hate me on it, but like I said, I grew up watching those, so don't be like, "Oh, I'm not a real one," this and that. Like I literally did grow up watching all of them before I became an adult. I did watch them all, but like I said, I don't think the movie franchise shouldn't end. Second one we're gonna talk about is the X-Men movies. Let's just say these are the type of movies that I would say I would grow up on too. When I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with Wolverine. So when I first saw Wolverine in live action, I thought it was the dopest thing, bro. I kid you not. Um, when I was a kid, honestly, I thought X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and X-Men 3, I thought they were all good. Everyone hates on those movies. And especially the one of my favorite movies when I was a kid was X-Men Origins Wolverine. They say that is the worst ever X-Men movie. I haven't rewatched it, since I don't even know how old I was. I was probably like 12 last time I watched it, but like I thought that movie was so good, so hated on for no reason. Um do I think that they should keep making X-Men movies? That's the real question. Later on when I got older, I kind of stopped tuning into the whole X-Men thing cuz I think it was after Wolverine's death. Wolverine was my favorite. So I just kind of could care less about the X-Men franchise. Um I I don't know if they should or shouldn't. I think they should put Cyclops in more scenes, maybe Beast in more scenes. I don't know. I don't think they should kill off the franchise, but I think they need to figure out what works. If we're being honest, I think Fox just needs to give it up to Marvel and have Marvel figure out, and I think Marvel could figure it out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they already did it. I don't keep up with the whole who's in Marvel anymore and who's part of Fox and Sony, whatever. So, as a Christian, should you watch those movies? That one's a debatable one. I wouldn't say it's that bad of watching it as a Christian, because I mean, is it faith based? No. Is it really demonic? That's the thing. No, it's not really. It's just normal TV, I guess you can say. Um, I wouldn't say normal, but you guys know what I mean. Like I don't know what you would call it really, but as a Christian, I don't think it's as bad as other movies. Third one, we're gonna talk about superheroes again. I'm sorry, guys. I literally grew up on superheroes. Trust me, I am gonna talk about other than superheroes in a little bit. Um, we're gonna talk about the Marvel Cinematic. I'm gonna be honest. I think Marvel has absolutely no idea what they're doing anymore after Endgame. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with Avengers. Like Avengers, I thought was the coolest thing ever. You know, I thought the Iron Man movies were cool. I thought the Thor. I only really liked Thor one. I could kind of care less for the other Thors. Um, but besides the point, like Captain America, Winter Soldier, thought that one was dope. Like I honestly wish Avengers didn't end like it did. I guess like I'm a bunch of spoilers on this pod, bro. Bunch of spoilers, but I wish Black Widow got a solo movie before she died. I honestly don't think Marvel handled their timeline right. I think people are right. I think Hawkeye should have got more scenes. I think he should have got a TV show before Endgame. I think Endgame should have been one of their final movies of like say last year or this year. I don't think it should have came out in 2019. They should have hold on to that. Um but yeah, I know a lot of people do like the Guardians Galaxy franchises. You know, I'm not that big into that one. I do like the first one, don't get me wrong. Fantastic Four, I'm glad they're bringing that back. The Spider-Man's Tom Holland, I think he is a really good Spider-Man playing it. I think they should keep that franchise, but with how we have yet to get another Spider-Man movie or heard about it, I think he is done with that character. I mean, he is hitting 30. I don't think he wants to play a teenager anymore. And that one is understandable. Robert Downey Jr. did a really good playing Iron Man. I think it was a smart choice of them killing him off because some people had a good point that Tony Stark was one of the most selfish billionaire playboys, and he became a world hero with sacrificing himself. So I thought that one was really cool idea. I hope Marvel gets it together and stuff like that. You know, I think it was 2 years ago they were putting out horrible things. Like, I'm sorry, the She-Hulk show, I didn't even give that a try. Loki, I'm not even that big of a fan of. Vision and Wanda, I could kind of care less for. I was like, dude, I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier, I thought that was going to be a really dope show. I didn't really get into it. The new Captain America movie, I thought was really good. If whoever was behind that movie, get behind the new Avengers Secret Wars movies, please. And trust me, guys, I'm gonna watch that, bro. I'm so gonna go to a movie theater to watch that because I seen every single Avengers movie in the movie theater. That is one of my biggest geek flexes I ever said. But as a Christian, should you watch this? Again, is it faith based? No. Is it really demonic? I wouldn't say so. I would say it's not even in between. I like I said, I don't even know what to call it. I would just say it's a bunch of action and science and all that, and I don't know. As a Christian, I think if you like it, you like it. I guess. I am gonna. Is Deadpool part of the Marvel franchise? I think it is. I'll just talk about that real fast. Do I think as a Christian should you watch Deadpool? Absolutely not. Say the Lord Main's name a bunch of times, cusses a bunch of times, talks about, loves to kill people and stuff like that, and he, literally, Deadpool 3 was a mockery of Jesus. And it is messed up that Hugh Jackman even did that. Of that scene that I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about. So that movie I would take out this discography. And don't get me wrong, I used to like that movie. Don't get me wrong, I used to find it funny and action. And do I think Ryan Reynolds is a good actor? Yes, but compared to that movie, absolutely not. I think it is messed up that they did what they did. So I'm just gonna say that one. But other than that, like the Iron Mans, I don't see that big of a deal. The Captain Americas and the Thors and all. Oh, Thors are a little iffy because of how much magic they focus on. But Avengers movies, I don't see that big of a deal. The Thor franchises, I do think needs to end, bro. Like, I'm sorry, it used to be action and then it just turned into comedy. But besides the point, let's talk about DC since we just talked about Marvel. The DC franchise, a bunch of people hate on. Let me just say this, DC. Stop making so much Batman and Superman movies. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? There are so many other superheroes in your discography. You ruined the Flash movie. I'm just gonna say that. Flashpoint is supposed to be multiple universes. Why would you stay in the same universe with Flash? I'm sorry. I'm gonna get geeked out real fast. But still, the Blue Beetle movie was a smart idea, bro. Like, you guys didn't bring Blue Beetle to live action before that. I thought it was dope that I got to see that origin story. I thought it was dope that you actually brought a new character. The Aquaman movie. Like, I'm glad you guys did what you did with that. Like I said, don't get me wrong. The Batman franchises are good. But the one movie, The Batman, that dropped in 2022 was unnecessary. I heard it was really good and stuff like that. I heard it was very much of him being a detective and stuff like that. As they do say that he's the world's greatest detective, whatever. But besides the point, that movie shouldn't have had draws, bro. Like, Christian Bale did his thing as the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight franchises were really good. And yes, I didn't forget about Ben Affleck playing Superman in Batman versus Superman, but they were trying to start the whole like Justice League thing. So I understood that one. But again, and yes, that new Superman movie, don't get me wrong, it looks really cool. Okay? I'm gonna go check it out most definitely, because Crypto, the super dog, that if anybody knows about the cartoon and stuff like that, the cartoon TV show Crypto, the super dog, you goated for that, bro. So now that we got a Crypto live action is dope. Again, seems really cool, but again, why are we making so many Batman and Superman movies? Why did they ruin the Teen Titans live action? That's actually that. I'm gonna just talk about that real fast, even though I'm trying not to talk about TV shows. But again, you guys ruined that. The Green Lantern movie, make another one, bro. We haven't seen Jon Stewart. So, all I'm saying is, DC, pick up your slack. You got so many good superheroes. You got so many good villains. Use them right. Suicide Squad. That the newest one, not the 2016 one, the newest one. You guys did that right. That was really good. As a Christian, should you watch these DC movies? Maybe not some. Maybe some you can watch. Yeah. That's the end of me going on rants about DC. Clearly, DC does not know how to handle their franchise. I'll admit that. I'll give it to Marvel. Marvel probably handles it better. Because I'm sure a lot of people want me to talk about these movies real fast, these movie franchises. I'm just going to say them. I never got into these movie franchises, but I'm going to talk about it just because I know some people probably are deep into it. There is Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, and probably so many more that I just didn't name. Those movie franchises I never got into. Jurassic Park does seem really cool, but I'm not even like that into dinosaurs. Even when I was a kid, I wasn't really into them that much. All I knew was a pterodactyl and a T-Rex. If it wasn't for Power Rangers, I probably wouldn't know what most of the dinosaurs even look like. But yeah, like I said, Jurassic Park does seem pretty cool and stuff like that. Maybe if I was into it when I was a kid, I probably would watch the newer ones. Mark Wahlberg, I think, probably does do a really good job in the newer ones. Wait, is he in that? Oh, shoot. Oh, no, I'm thinking about Chris Pratt. Oops, my bad. Not Mark Wahlberg. But yes, the Jurassic Parks do seem pretty cool. Terminators, another movies that I'd seen here and there. I think they should make more Terminator movies. Honestly, you know, they do seem pretty cool. It's a cool idea. Again, I never got deep into it, but it does seem cool. The Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, and Lord of the Rings, you know, like I said, I never got into that. If you're into it, you're into it. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Should they make more of it? To me, in my opinion, as a Christian, I don't think those are right as Christian movies. They focus a lot on magic and un unfaithful things. Um, so as a Christian, you shouldn't watch them. I think those movie franchises just maybe this is gonna sound like a hater, but I think they should just end, bro. Like, or we should just leave it how it is. Um, Maybe it's because I just never got into it. You know what? They make another one. They make another one. Good for you guys. I don't know. It's that one's debatable. So, you know what? Good for you guys that they make another one. You know what? We're gonna talk about the Transformer movies real fast. Megan Fox is very demonic, so I'm gonna say she is really pretty. Don't get me wrong and stuff like that, but I just don't like how she is. So no, don't ever bring back Megan Fox. Shia LaBeouf, I believe he got a bunch of issues going on and stuff like that. The first three movies I used to watch, the ones with Mark Wahlberg, I seen some here and there, but those ones, I'm gonna say it. I think they should make more of those. Transformer live action movies are dope. I'm gonna vote on this one real fast. Let's bring back the Power Ranger live action movies. The 2017 movie is way too hated on for no reason. I thought it was good. Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie real fast. I thought those ones were good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Those get too hated on. I think we should get a Voltron live action movie. Who's with me on that one? But you know what? Whatever. Let's just say Hollywood's not doing it right, man. Well, there's a lot of exposure in Hollywood, as everybody knows. But Pirates of the Caribbean too. If they make more, they make more. I stopped tuning into Pirates of the Caribbean probably after the third one, maybe. I don't even know, but like I said, if they make more, they make more. I think they are actually. As Christian, should you watch those movies? That's up to you. The James Bond series, for Christianity wise, I see nothing wrong with it. Me personally, I don't like how they change up the actor so much in that movie, and it's literally the same character. I just get confused. Same thing with Mission Impossible. I mean, it's the same actor, same character, or whatever, but never really got that into it. Triple X, if anybody knows what Triple X is, let's bring that back, bro. I'm sorry. That character was so dope, bro. I want an Ice Cube and Vin Diesel like crossover with Triple X, bro. The Spider-Man franchises, I talk about Tom Holland. I think he is carrying as Spider-Man. I think Tobey did a good job. I think Andrew Garfield did a good job. I honestly don't think nobody did bad on as Spider-Man. The Rocky franchise. I think Creed is killing it, bro. I think what started it all with the Rocky movies, I think is a really good concept. I do like how he loses some fights and he wins some fights because that's real life. Let's talk about Toy Story. Toy Story 4 was unnecessary. Toy Story 3 is one of the best ones, bro. 1, 2, and 3 are so good. The newest one, I'm going to say I don't think Toy Story should end just because there is a lot of storyline to Toy Story. I think it's a really cool concept of what they're going to do on the fifth one. What they're going to do is they're going to focus on how kids don't play with toys anymore and technology's taking over. So I think that is a really cool concept. I think Toy Story should still continue. Let's talk about Back to the Future. Back to the Future is going to be our last one we're going to talk about. Actually, no. Let's talk about the Disney original movies after this. But Back to the Future. I think they should make a reboot of it, honestly. It's probably not going to be as good as the classic, but think about this. Think about this. Hold up. Before you hate on this, Think about how good the graphics would be if they go to the future or if they go in the past. Like, think about what they can do now. Like, can you imagine they travel back to 2020? Like you know how crazy that would be? No, I'm just playing. No, if you had a time machine and traveled back then on that year, like, you're crazy, bro. No, but what I'm getting at though is, like, think about how much things that they can do with that movie. So I think they should bring it back. I honestly think they should make a reboot. As a Christian, you can't change the past, but you can change the future. That's what you gotta focus on. So there is no such thing as time travel. Um, the past is the past. You don't want to mess it up. Um, but the Disney original movies is, I would say, is a franchise or whatever. I grew up on watching those, and I remember that used to make my day so much. Disney, you have Disney Plus, do something with it, bro. Bring us back the Disney Channel original movies. Like, keep making them, if that makes sense. If you guys know what I'm, like, thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? Get back the old stars, bro. Have them, like, reboot something. Get something going here. Okay? Um I wanna see another Lemonade Mouth, bro. I wanna see another Den Brother, if anyone knows what that is, bro. I wanna see another Let It Shine, bro. Let It Shine needs to be so cool, bro. But I hope you guys like this. Again, there's so many movie franchises out there that I probably didn't talk about. Again, there's so many out there. Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's the one we're gonna end on. Stop making. Alright, yeah, stop making those. I was gonna say, like, maybe give it a try again, but the road trip one was so unnecessary. The island one was decent. Okay, like, oh, okay, like, but I'm sorry, 1 and 2, bro, is so good. Venom franchise, I didn't even like 1, 2, and 3. I only like the first one. But guys, as a Christian, I'm just gonna say that don't forget to praise Jesus. Okay, I'm so thankful there's so many movie franchises that we have our options. Some people don't get to watch these, so you know what? Pick and choose. Let me know down in the comments of what your favorite movie franchise is, and yeah. So, but thanks for watching.